From the Wizard of Oz to Twister. You've seen them and maybe even thought, at least for a moment, about getting one. But what goes through a person's mind when they finally decide to buy a storm shelter?
It seems like the tornadoes are getting closer with the one in Fort Worth, and there was one in Gerald just, I guess, been, what, two years ago. And being here in Texas, it's just a matter of when, not if.
Mass casualty incident.
And after the Fort Worth tornado in March 2000, Garrick Palmer of Storm and Tornado Shelters of Texas says,
the phone calls picked up. We started getting about 30 a day as opposed to 3 or 4 a day.
So what makes a person decide they need a storm shelter?
The main reason for getting it was just a peace of mind.
Our home is really wide open, and I discovered the very first year that we lived here that there really wasn't a safe place to go.
The only thing we have is a closet that, you know, is probably about a 3x3.
So you need a storm shelter. How do you find one? Try the phone book, but you'll probably have better luck online if you're willing to do some homework.
We found everything from tornado shelters to bomb shelters, but that's where I did most of my research was on the internet.
Once you find one, it's a fairly simple process.
It's excavate a hole, set the shelter down in the hole, pour some concrete, and then you backfill, and then eventually grass grows back over the top.
And after the grass grows back, a storm shelter is an investment in your family.
It's almost like an insurance policy to me. I mean, you may never use your insurance policy, but the one time you do, would pay for itself.
And while they're not cheap, you can always find the money for a good investment.
What we did is, when we moved into the house 3.5 years ago, is we got on a budget and we decided we're going to pay cash for everything. And we decided instead of recycling, we're just going to save the change. So we're getting that peace of mind for you know what.
Look at the size of it now.
Lives are a lot more important than things.
You can never replace a family member.
So, my good friend Garrick Palmer from Storm and Tornado Shelters of Texas in Flower Mound tells me that you can get one with a range of prices. They start around $3,800 for a small one and go up to about $9,000. This is for in-ground, not for safe rooms. That's a different thing, and you can find information about those on the web.